podcast as Barney and June. Welcome to our amazing entrepreneur story show today. And today we have Jim Beard with us today. So how are you doing, Jim?
Doing good. What's going on, everyone? I got this from the Content Machine Live. Shout out to Marley Jacks.
Oh, okay. You went to the event?
Oh, it was amazing.
Oh my
Absolutely.
God, that's really great. So, Jim is the founder of Micro Machine Media and host of X and O's game show, which is a very great example of standing out in a very noisy marketplace. So, if let's say you want your show to be unique in your market and be able to be everywhere with your ideal clients are when they need you the most, get out your notepad today and ready to find out how Jim does it. So, Jim, can you tell us how you started this game show?
Yeah, actually, it was at the beginning of COVID, and I wanted to start a podcast. I was going to be called Fail Faster, and I do still want to do that. I still have all the stuff to do it, but I just haven't. And I got to noticing when COVID started that a lot of people were being very generous and giving away things with high markups, like 95% off, just take it, take it, take it. And I was like, man, people are just going to stow this stuff away and never look at it. It's just going to be like a collector item. I got it. So because I got it, I'm good. And I was like, man, no one's going to use this stuff. So I'm like, is a podcast going to make people use it?
Okay.
No, not at the time. I love podcasts and I listen to a lot of podcasts myself. I'm a podcast junkie. But I didn't think that COVID needed another podcast.
Okay.
I thought it needed something weird, visual, entertaining, because people were bummed out, locked in the house, thinking about all the money they didn't have. So I was like, what's the weirdest thing I could put in someone's timeline? And I came across a game show. And then I went down the YouTube rabbit hole of game shows and stumbled across Hollywood Squares, which was an old favorite of mine. And in particular, a Gilbert Gottfried clip to where he lied every single time without fail. And they still thought he was telling the truth. I thought it was amazing.
Oh my
And I was like,
God,
if I could put entrepreneurs and marketers in that spot, I think I have something funny, entertaining, and maybe valuable even. But initially, I just wanted to make it to entertain myself. I was like, I wonder if I could pull this off.
Okay.
And so I went down the YouTube rabbit hole and kind of figured out a loose framework that might work based upon Twitch streamers, one of my favorites. They just have so much fun. They're having so much fun than all of the other internet people. So I was like, I got to get some of that into this world because our marketing world is kind of stagnant and stiff. It's very rare to see something truly weird.
Okay.
And so that's where it came from. And the first episode was in a mastermind. So I asked them to be on the show and they did. And it went crazy and everything went wrong. But the thing was, they had fun.
Okay. That's the most important thing, right?
I was like, maybe if I can get my act together, there's something here. The second episode, Marley Jackson, Rachel Peterson come on.
Oh my God.
What? And I hadn't proven anything.
Okay.
They just thought it was interesting and unique and something brand new that hadn't been done before. And they came on and I messed the whole thing up.
Okay.
Everything.
I think a lot of our followers and audience who are watching this, you guys may not know how the game show works. Like the game show is something like a tic-tac-toe, right? How does it work? Can you tell us more?
It's essentially high stakes tic-tac-toe. If you haven't seen Hollywood Squares, there's 9 squares that make up a tic-tac-toe board. And in each of those squares, we have an expert, an entrepreneur or a marketer, someone that can lend advice to someone who's coming from a 9-to-5, going to be an entrepreneur, just became an entrepreneur, or has been an entrepreneur for a while and just hasn't found a way to make it work. And so that's the only credentials we have for our experts to be on the show. And then we have 2 contestants and myself. And so I asked one of the contestants to pick a square where they'd like an X or an O to go respectively. And then in that square is an expert. I asked them a trivia question based around entrepreneurship, marketing, pop culture, and downright weird. And they can answer if they know it. And if they don't, they can lie. And the contestant has to determine what's right or wrong. If the contestant determines correctly, they get an X or an O in the square. 3 in a row gets tic-tac-toe. Best out of 3 wins the game. And the winner gets all 9 experts prizes that they brought.
Oh my God,
which is
that's a lot.
insane.
I saw the
It's
prices
insane.
like all the experts, they are going to give away like free consultation hours and also some of the free gift, right?
Hmm. I
That's
actually
really
did
awesome.
a workup on the numbers. Our average prize value is neighborhood $8,000 to $10,000 every show.
Wow, that's really awesome. Like from like starting have this concept to really conceptualize it to really make it happen. I just now you also shared with us the second game show you get so many quality really experts with you, but then you
Bombed
mess
it.
up again, right?
Bombed it. Totally bombed it. But again,
Okay.
they had a ton of fun.
Okay.
So that's what kept people watching. They either they watched because they wanted to see me screw up live, which is fine,
Okay.
or or they were enjoying the fun.
Okay.
So I kept thinking to myself, okay, this is not right, but people are having fun. And then episode 3 comes around, fully stocked. Everyone is ready to be on. And mind you, logistics of getting 12 people on a Zoom call at one time, live every single week, is insane. So
That
credit goes out to Heather Murphy, who helps me out with the show. She will no longer be helping me out with the show because now her business is taken off. Evergreen Entrepreneur, shout out. And she has a new course coming out. Please check that out. But it takes an army. It really does.
yeah, I know, right? How many?
And it's just me and Heather that were doing it. And now
Really?
it's back to just me.
Oh my
And
God.
it's crazy. So like I'm realizing now, like, because I just made this game as a fun thing and now it's
Okay.
gotten its own life. We're on episode 20 in 2 weeks. That's
Wow.
crazy.
That's
It's
really crazy.
crazy.
So what's your plan on taking off from X and O? Like how you wish it would happen? It will become like maybe in 12 months time or like 6 months time?
Yeah, absolutely. In that amount of time, I'd like to see it be a phone app so the audience can get more involved and play along and win prizes as an audience member as well. I'd like to see more assets in OBS, like interactive stuff, to where if someone gets a really funny thing, we have a graphic come in, some different scene states to where maybe we could focus in on a couple people that are talking, or myself talking, or the contestants, together talking. Just some different things to look at to mix it up, and also some background music if they get it right or wrong, some sound effects, just higher production value as we go along, because the fun's there. And now we've got it to a pretty good system to where I know if a problem happens, I can fix it very quickly. And I'm not as afraid of failure as I was in the beginning,
Okay,
which
talking
is
about
really
failure,
nice.
which is a very, very good topic to all other new entrepreneurs out there. So what have you
Absolutely.
learned from failure, and then what do you think that what would be the advice that you give like to new entrepreneurs out there who are just
I could
starting
talk
out?
about this for hours. Honestly, I could. It's near and dear to my heart because the podcast was actually going to be around how failure is a good thing. That was actually the heart of the podcast that I was going to make. And then I decided against it and did this crazy thing instead. But people should not be afraid of failure. Failure is the heart of every success. Failure it's taking samples. Like AI takes samples. Well, I was in a podcast with the Biz Bros and they brought that up about taking samples instead of
Okay.
having failures. And that just means what doesn't work, which is also equally valuable. You learn more from your failures than you ever will from any of your successes. But it's a mountain of failures that equals the greatest success. And one of my dearest teachers to me ever, his name is Larry Larson. He told me at one point, and I don't know if it's his or not, but to me it's his. He said, to be truly successful, triple your failure rate.
That's
And that
really
stuck
awesome.
with me. It stuck with me forever.
That's really
And
awesome.
when we got into this game, usually I get real heady and in my headspace and just go into learn mode, just learn, and never do anything. And I made a promise to myself that I'm just going to learn a little bit and take action, mess it up, break it,
Yeah.
fix it, and just keep rocking. And that's been everything for me.
That's
And
very well said. That's very well said. I think most of the new entrepreneurs out there, they see failure is like something very great, but actually essentially there shouldn't be a word failure in a dictionary. I felt like they should be just like a feedback. It's just telling you whether it works or it doesn't. If let's say it doesn't work, never mind, can just always try again. So I think that is very well said. So another question I want to ask, like, what, since you are the master in content creation, like coming up as this game show is even like a very great content creation idea. So what are the top 3 tips you are going to give away for content creation as a newbie in this space? 3 tips.
Oh, absolutely. If it was only down to 3 tips, okay. So make a content plan, and I'm going to give you the framework of it. It sounds simple, but when you get down into the granularity of it, it becomes extremely obnoxious. But the end product is invaluable. So this is what you do. You take your business, the thing that you want to focus your year on. So let's say it's JuneLow Inc. Okay. And that's the thing you want to put everyone into. So that you have let's say a JuneLow webinar, okay? So you pick 4 pillars that you're going to teach someone in this JuneLow product. And those 4 pillars equal out to be 4 quarters of the year.
Okay.
And now you break up each of those into 3. So you say, okay, let's say JuneLow wants to focus on how to start your podcast. Let's say content creation, funnels, and scale or follow-up. So under podcast, you have 3 things that you want to talk about. That's 3 months.
Okay.
That make up a quarter. Okay. So let's say in podcasts you want to talk about, let's get an example from you. So what would be 3 things you'd want to talk about in regards to podcast?
Entrepreneurship, productivity, as well as marketing.
Beautiful. Yeah. So now you take those and you break up into 4 deeper. So entrepreneurship, tell me 4 things about entrepreneurship in regards to podcasting.
Okay, maybe like what you said just now, how to fail faster, how to start, mindset, and what are the direction that you want to go for entrepreneurs.
Beautiful, beautiful. So now you turn each one of those into a video title.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll take, what was the first one?
I forgot.
Entrepreneurship for podcasting. What was the first
how
one?
to start, maybe how to start.
How to start, beautiful. Yeah. So give me a good catchy video name for how to start your podcast as an entrepreneur.
Top 3 tips to start your brand new podcast as entrepreneurs out of COVID-19.
Boom. So now you do some keyword and hashtag research, and you pepper that into all your titles.
Okay.
And so now you can rank for that content. So now that you have it down to the week, you have 52 weeks now at the end of this process with video titles, with keyword and hashtag research. It's all been peppered in. Now you take that and you batch that content. You're going to take your phone. You're going to take your phone and you're going to talk about, what was your video title?
Entrepreneurship, how to start a new business out of COVID-19.
Okay. So you're going to set a timer on your computer for 8 minutes.
Okay.
And you're just going to talk it out into a voice recorder. Okay.
Okay.
And just go right into it, literally. Like just rip it. It doesn't matter what you look like, because if you're doing video, you're not going to use the video, so you don't even need to worry about it. But you just want to get it out. Okay. Just get it all out. And now you're going to take that and do that 52 times. Or you can even do it only 12 times, so you could have video per month. But I recommend doing 52 because you might as well. That's a lot of good content in there. And there's other reasons at the end, I'll tell you. But so now you take this video recording, or the recording you've made, send it to rev.com or run it through clipscribe.com. Get it transcribed. Get it transcribed. So now you have the text from that, and it's all your stumbles and your mumbles and all fumbles and all that kind of stuff. And you give it to a professional copywriter to make a script.
Okay.
So they make it creatively into an actual script that you're going to read from a teleprompter app. And then you tell them what your CTA is for all your videos. And then they add in the CTA, call to action for those that don't know. And then you get all those back. You run them through a teleprompter app, which you can do through your phone or through a tablet or on your screen. You have that right below your camera. You set up your lights really nice. Sometimes people get an Airbnb for this because you want to have 3 to 4 different backgrounds.
Okay.
nice backgrounds to look at, 3 to 4 outfits so it doesn't go stagnant. I recommend you get a videographer for the day. Mind you, you're creating all of your content at one time. It is very worth it to get it done right. So you get your lighting nice, you get the video set up nice, you have videographer, you have 3 different backgrounds, 3 different outfits, 4 is ideal, 3 is okay. And you just crank it out.
Wow, that's really awesome. So how you do it is that you plan ahead for 52 weeks in a year, and then separate it into 4 different quarters. So per quarter, you kind of like pick one major pillar to talk about and separate into different topics. And then one very easy tips that you give us is like, we just need to start recording the voice, and then after that transcribe it, or like having a copywriter to actually beautify our wording and then re-record it. Is that what you're saying?
A big thing that keeps people back from recording video is how they appear.
Yeah.
Fear of judgment. Yes. And also fear that they'll forget to say something, that they didn't say it right, or they said too much. So now you have a script of your own words made nice with a guaranteed CTA. Everything's been run through and edited. And now you're reading your own words, and now you can relax. You know you look wonderful because the lights are all set up perfect. You know that you're going to look wonderful because you have someone filming you and you're in a wonderful environment, 3 different changes. So everything is ideally set up for production. So now you can get all this done in a weekend, 2 weekends.
That's a very
fantastic. Stretch it out.
That's very fantastic. So one last thing, what would be the one advice that we give to our entrepreneurs out there before we finish the show?
I got to finish up. I got to finish up the thing I was saying.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Go ahead.
Because there's one more step.
Yep.
So for the people that are really wanting to get out there and be omnipresent in your niche, and to make sure that you're everywhere your client is when they need you most, repurpose your content. So now you take this content that you created, which we'll consider as your premier content, you give it to a video editor. They edit it into a very nice, clean, long form content. You post it on YouTube, you post it on Facebook 10 days later. So that way you give space, because you want to give favoritism to YouTube because it's a search engine. It can find you for years to come. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok are all temporary content. Anything beyond 6 scrolls is considered dead content. So therefore, everything should be pushing to YouTube, which has longevity. So you have the YouTube first, then Facebook 10 days later, the same exact video. Then you do a teaser video on LinkedIn. LinkedIn goes to YouTube. Then you have Instagram and Facebook stories that are all teasers to go to the YouTube or to go to the Facebook thereafter if you're forming a group. And then TikTok is the same thing, but it's like a highlight reel. So imagine like America's Funniest Home Videos. What do they post on YouTube? The highlights, right? A minute or 2 of the funniest moments or the best, juiciest content that goes on TikTok. TikTok then pushes to YouTube. So that's your whole play there that you want to do. And you already have your hashtags and your keywords. So you just pepper those in. And then on YouTube, it's critical to preload it with at least 10 videos, and all 10 videos in the description linked to the other 9.
Okay.
So that way, when you click on a video, it recommends the other ones next.
Okay, that's fantastic. So meaning from different social media platform, we actually give them some gaps in order to link to each other, and then make sure we have all the social media platform everywhere to create an omnipresence, right? That is a fantastic tip. So one last tip, what would be the number 1 advice for someone out there who want to start creating contents? Just one tip.
Publish.
That's awesome.
And really, honestly, without publishing, I'd be nowhere. It has made all the difference. And yes, it's this weird game show and but the experts have networking together. They form business deals together. I've had a couple experts make over 20 grand in a week after the show finished from business deals together. The contestants get amazing benefits. Even if they lose, they still get a parting gift, and they get new relationships and networking. And obviously myself, I come along for the ride, and I make all these beautiful friendships, and yourself included. I would never have met you if it wasn't for the game show. So I'm so thankful for that. And publishing has changed everything. Publish. You just set up your phone, and in the beginning, you're publishing just for yourself. Okay. It doesn't matter if it says 0 in the corner. It doesn't matter. In the beginning, you're going to suck.
Yes,
Okay.
I
And
totally
then
agree.
eventually you suck a little less. And eventually you suck so little that you're actually pretty good.
Oh my God, I love that.
So
I love that. I
that's
love the
it.
fact that you said that you suck so little that you're pretty good. Yeah, that's really a very awesome advice. So, Jim, how do any of the audiences reach out to you if let's say they're interested to be on the show or like be part of it? Yeah.
You can either message the X and O Game Show Facebook page. You can message me at the X's and O's Game Show group, Facebook group, or you can message me privately, Jim Beard. Any of those, I respond to all of them. And I hope you watch the show. And if you need any kind of content repurposing or content strategy, I'm your guy.
Yeah. So, guys, I'm going to put Jim's link on down below so that you guys can reach out to him. So, thank you so much, Jim, for being on our show. And it's our pleasure to have you here today.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you, Jim. Bye.